All right, meet Ethan. What we're about to explore today is a reality that honestly, most of us can barely even wrap our heads around, let alone actually live. Ethan is just 10 years old. He has literally never stood on a chilly street corner waiting for a yellow school bus. He's never quickly zipped up a packed lunch into a backpack. Today, we're going to walk through a literal day in the life of a billionaire's child, pulling from some absolutely fascinating source material. We're going to break down the exact timeline of a kid whose entire childhood is this hyper-optimized, ultra-luxurious operation.
Okay, let's dive into this, because the contrast here is just staggering. Contrast your standard morning drill, the chaotic rush for the school bus, throwing together hastily made sandwiches, with Ethan's reality. His mornings unfold on a sprawling, private estate entirely managed by a dedicated personal staff. Every single little friction point of a normal morning, it's been completely engineered out by extreme wealth. And, before we even hit his morning alarm, we really need to establish the sheer scale of the passive wealth surrounding this kid. Ethan makes more money simply by existing than most people will earn in a full year of hard labor. In fact, by the time we finish this explainer, his family's net worth, and by extension, his own, will have grown significantly. He doesn't even have a job, but his mere existence is financially monumental. It's wild. So how exactly does a 10-year-old with a GDP-level net worth spend his day? Well, his routine is incredibly structured. We're going to trace his steps chronologically, right from his 6:30 a.m. wake-up call through his highly curated afternoon free time at 2 p.m., all the way to his 8 p.m. bedtime. This isn't just a day. It's an absolute masterclass in timeline optimization. Let's start right at the very beginning. The day kicks off at exactly 6:30 in the morning. The sun is just starting to rise over his private 40-acre estate. But Ethan doesn't have to groggily reach over and pull back the blinds. Nope. His smart curtains are fully automated, specifically programmed to glide open on their own to let the morning light flood into the room. And what's totally fascinating here is the complete lack of jarring alarms. There is no buzzing clock to smack. Instead, he wakes up to soft, ambient piano music. But get this. It doesn't just play at a set time. It's actually triggered by a highly advanced sleep tracker that dictates the exact biological moment his body is ready to wake up. Oh, and there's no rummaging through a messy closet for clothes. A butler-style staff member has already laid out his outfit for the day. And today, it's a custom Italian tracksuit. Because in Ethan's world, even eating your morning cereal comes with a high-end dress code. Section 1. The Ultimate Morning Routine. Let's head down to the grand dining table and check out a billionaire breakfast. Now, what's really interesting about this is the incredible juxtaposition between unimaginable luxury and super mundane childhood tasks. Step 1, his breakfast isn't just poured from a cardboard box. It's prepared by his personal chef, who happens to be a former Michelin star cook. Step 2, the meal itself is a specific bowl designed from scratch by a private nutritionist. Step 3 features fresh mangoes flown in directly from Thailand that very morning. I mean, just think about the logistical effort to get a fresh Thai mango onto a 10-year-old's plate by 7 a.m. It's astounding. But then we hit step 4. While he eats this world-class meal, his private tutor is sitting right across from him with a tablet, reviewing fractions. Because despite the Michelin chef and the imported fruit, Ethan still has to learn how to divide numbers just like any other 10-year-old.
Section 2, a hyper-elite education. So how does a child with literally unlimited resources handle schooling?
Let's look at the raw numbers here. The standard educational experience features about 30 kids packed into a single classroom, all sharing one teacher's attention. Ethan's classroom? Well, it's inside his house, surrounded by world maps and a giant globe, and it features exactly one tutor and one student. The ratio is literally 1-to-1. This completely removes the traditional classroom environment, the distractions, the everyday social dynamics, and replaces them with intense, hyper-individualized focus. His specific daily curriculum goes way, way beyond standard math and reading. He's already studying basic economics and taking Mandarin language lessons. His physical education class? Yeah, that's a swimming lesson taught by an actual Olympic coach. But the most telling detail for me is his recess. Instead of running around a playground, his recess is a 45-minute block inside his private home theater, watching an ocean documentary. His parents operate on the strict philosophy that even screen time must be optimized to teach him something. There is virtually no uncurated moment in his entire educational day. Section 3. $1,000,000 free time. Eventually, the school day ends, and we transition right into the afternoon flex. The clock strikes 2 p.m. For Ethan, this marks the official beginning of what he calls free time. But as we're about to see, a billionaire kid's free time looks absolutely nothing like a normal after-school play date. And this brilliantly illustrates the sheer scale of his lifestyle. For fun, he rides a kid-sized custom electric go-kart around his estate's very own private track. After that, he heads down to the stables to visit his horse, Biscuit. And get this, according to our source, Biscuit the horse actually has better health care than most human beings. But the ultimate flex is that last point. Once a week, Ethan and his family board their private jet and fly to a completely different country just to have dinner. Think about that for a second. Crossing international borders purely for an evening meal before flying right back home.
Section 4. The philanthropy rule. I want to purposely slow things down here for a second, because after hearing about taking private jets just for dinner, his routine makes a really surprising pivot toward giving back. Twice a month. That is the hard and fast rules set by his parents. Twice every single month, Ethan is taken out of his bubble and required to volunteer. And this isn't just someone writing a check on his behalf. He is physically present, packing donation boxes with meals for families in need and visiting children's hospitals. During these charity events, his parents instill a very specific, grounded lesson. Money means nothing if you don't use it to help someone else. This is the core philosophy they are trying to drill into him. They are intensely aware of the bubble he lives in, and this twice-a-month philanthropy rule is their mechanism to ensure he actually understands the weight and the responsibility of the wealth he was born into.
Section 5. Bedtime grounding. Bringing it all back to a bit of normalcy at the end of the day.
By 8 p.m., Ethan is looking out at the city lights from his bedroom. And while sure, it is a bedroom that's vastly larger than most people's entire apartments, bathed in the warm glow of a bedside lamp, what happens next is universally relatable. So the crucial point is that despite the absolute army of staff, the Michelin star private chefs, the Olympic swim coaches, the private tutors, when 8 p.m. rolls around, the staff completely steps back. A bedtime story is read to him by his mother, not a nanny. His mother, every single night without fail. It's this really striking moment of normalcy at the end of an entirely abnormal day, right before he falls asleep to wake up and do it all over again. We've seen the Italian tracksuits, the fractions over Thai mangoes, the casual private jet dinners, and the mandated philanthropy. It is a life most of us will literally only ever see on a screen, which leaves us with one final, provocative question to think about. Knowing everything you know now about the extreme optimization, the isolation of a one-to-one classroom, and the immense pressure of that lifestyle, would you trade places with Ethan? Think on that, and we'll see you in the next explainer.